Those lead lap cars all pitting here. Schrader with a very long pit stop. He comes off pit road last among that whole group.
A lot of guys are having trouble with their lug nuts tonight. You saw the 24 guys there.
Car fell off the jack on the 49, Wally. Sorry to interrupt you there.
Well, the 24 car had a problem with the lug nuts. We watched them. They were trying to find one and put one on.
Check out our Napa field summary. Cautions and caution laps. Through all that mayhem, only 5 cars out of the race. Larry Foyt, Jeff Green, Christian Fittipaldi, Michael Waltrip, and Rusty Wallace. And by the way, no further update on Rusty other than he went to the hospital of his own choosing for further examination. Okay. 25 cars on the lead lap, 188 laps to go. Ryan Newman is now the leader. Most of the lead lap guys did not pit under the caution flag.
But they're going to have to pit before the night is over. That's why those guys, Mark Martin, some of those guys, gamble that they can make it the rest of the way. There'll be more caution laps. They can make it. Look at McMurray on the inside of the 48 car of Johnson. The battle for the 3rd position.
Ooh, Ricky Rudd, little tap there from Dale Earnhardt Jr. Jimmy Johnson tantalizing Jamie McMurray with that left rear fender hanging out there.
I figured out what I was going to say spot or position a while ago. I didn't say either.
We were with you. Okay. Marty.
Elliott Sadler from the infield care center. Looked a lot like last year's wreck. What happened?
I just got a little loose under the 4 car. He was down a little bit, I was up a little bit. Just got the combos 4 turn around. 100% my fault. Sorry to Robert Yates and everybody at Emmerdale. Trying to get him next week.
So Elliott Sadler, one of many drivers involved in incidents tonight that have brought out 14 caution flags to this point in the race. Now, let's throw some stats at you here. Most caution flags in this August race at Bristol, 16, 2001 edition. Most all-time caution flags here at Bristol, 20 in the spring race of 89 and the spring race of 97. Wally, you're next on the bubble. I'm already out.
You're out. Hey, boys, don't let me down.
But you will be soon. Certainly at the rate things are going.
Just drive carefully, boys.
So what we're set up with here is a pit strategy situation, like we've been talking about at all these other races, where guys are trying to pit as soon as they think they can make it to the finish on fuel and let everybody else pit and come out behind them and gain that track position. You know, I'll just button up this thought just for a second, all right? Sterling Marlin pitted along with Greg Biffle, Terry Labonte, and Casey Mears at lap 300 with 200 to go. Then at 310, Mark Martin and some others came in. So Sterling Marlin also came in there and topped off his fuel again, but Marlin is the farthest up. Let me check that. No, he's not either. How about Greg Biffle is the farthest up of those guys right now?
Yeah, but they can't make it. If it goes green right now, Sterling cannot make it.
No.
They have to come back in. So it doesn't matter whether they topped off right now. It only matters if they get some yellows.
Mark Martin needs 10 caution laps to reach the finish. 10. Jack Roush, the car owner, told me.
Okay?
So those guys stopped at 300 are going to have about 20
Right.
caution flag laps to be able to make it.
And now the guy that's farthest up in the running order is Kevin Harvick, that had made the pit stops because he just went by Greg Biffle. So Harvick in 12th is the farthest ahead.
Johnny Sauter about to lose a spot. That's 18th with Jeff Gordon.
They lose a couple of spots.
All of a sudden, there's something wrong with Junior's car because Ricky Craven goes right by him, takes over 7th.
Tell you what, Ricky's had a very solid night tonight, even though he got in that scramble with Ted Musgrave down the backstretch. 32 cars, been very strong. He's been a top 10 car.
Got a little wheel spin off that 8 car there out the corner.
How about that tide ride, Matty?
Well, earlier on, Alan, the biggest problem for Ricky Craven, the radio was out. He could not hear what the team was telling him. They finally swapped him to the backup channel, then it was fine. Then later in the race, it came back. They worked on that, made an extra stop under a caution. They've made a lot of track bar adjustments, as
Craven. Last 13 races, he's fallen from 7th to 21st in the championship standings. 5 DNFs in that time. Some of them silly things like Michigan last week, cut a tire, and car got out from under him, and he got clipped by Casey Mears. Team owner Cal Wells told me they're working very hard on finding a sponsor for a second team to add to that stable for 2004. There are the 2 guys farthest forward that are on the "we're done pitting for the night" strategy. Kevin Harvick in 29 and Greg Biffle in the 16, who's come back from a lap down, Marty.
I just talked to Randy Goss-Crew, Val, and he said actually they cannot make it all the way on fuel. They had to pit that time because the handling had gone away on the car, but they're about 20 laps short of making it all the way on fuel. So unless they get a lot of caution laps, they're going to have to pit again for that 16 bunch.
All right, so scratch him from the list.
So he falls in that group with Newman and Bush and Johnson, McMurray, Rudd, Kenseth. All those guys got to stop.
Well, the 88 and 19
they were
beating each other.
Telling you.
Dale Jarrett trying to move back up through the traffic. He's in 12th place. Jeremy Mayfield just shuffled back to 14th. And Ryan Newman leading at this point in the race with 166 to go. Matty?
A very patient performance for Ryan Newman. At one point tonight, back at lap 80, he was all the way back to 32nd. He has fought back. Matt Borland kept him out on the racetrack under that last caution. Simply, they were not in their window. Lap 350 to lap 353 is what their calculator tells them is their window. Ryan did come on the radio, said the car is tighter. It's the best it has been all night.
How many times has he spun out tonight? Twice?
I was just looking back at that. Lap 77, he went for one of the loops. Last driver to win consecutive races. Kurt Busch last fall.
So Ryan Newman won last week at Michigan. He could duplicate that, but Kurt Busch, who won this spring race in Bristol, is lurking.
And I mentioned that Ryan spun at lap 77. He also got tangled up in the mess at 178. How about Kurt Busch running second, Matty? Oh, got a car in the wall, turn 4. Bobby Labonte. Caution flag is out. And this would be number 15.
Okay, those guys have talked about 350, 350. Now might be the time for them to make a pit stop.
162, it'll be 161 to go, and Ryan Newman gets picked up by the pace car. Got a lousy night for Bobby Labonte.
He can't take too many hits with the back of that car.
No.
Be the second one.
He's tearing up to pieces pretty soon.
All right, so 161 to go.
And Bobby Labonte's going to take his car behind the wall directly. Will not stop it, go. Will not collect any money.
Not enough.
Okay, here they come to the opening of the backstretch pit road. Who comes in? First, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth,
Everybody.
seventh.
Everybody.
No. Sterling Marlin, 16th place, stays out. Dave?
Kevin Harvick is in 2 tires only, fuel, and then said will be done, according to crew chief Todd Berrier. They'll try to go to the end. Marty?
Jimmy Johnson running third, no one pitting behind him, no one pitting in front of him. He said, I'm rocketing into the corners, a little bit tight in the middle, through and off. He said, I want a round and a half in the right rear of Wedge. They gave him 4 tires and fuel. He's had 2 top 10s and has 3 Bristol starts, Bill. Dale Earnhardt Jr. slows to a stop, 3 in, 3 off, tight in the middle. They'll make a track bar adjustment, give him 4 tires and enough fuel, Jeff Clark says, to get to the finish. Matt.
And the 12 of Ryan Newman in, you can see they're making a wedge adjustment. The gas man, George Ridley, getting ready for the second can. As the changer comes around, they're going to pack that fuel cell full of fuel. Matt Borland said, get all in it that you can, and be careful at 97 on the way out, but they're not going to worry about that. Busch beats them out.
Sterling Marlin and Casey Mears did not pit.
And the 6 car just took gas, came in and topped it off and went.
160 laps to go at Bristol.
Bill, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. Did you try your all-brand cereal with yogurt?
Yeah, it was great. Thanks for the suggestion.
That's how I like to increase my fiber intake.
Oh, it certainly seems to help make a difference. Are you sure you're okay?
Fine. Why? Is there a problem?
No.
Oh.
Take the All-Brand 2-week challenge and feel good about it.
When I see you all again, and you know that I can feel it, and the lights begin to glow, then you know that I'll see you tonight.
PG, this is going to be your desk. You can load your race highlights right up to Sports Center from here.
Cool. You mind if I make a few changes around here?
Go nuts. I'll be around the corner if you need me.
Cool.
Hey, Paul, you comfortable?
I'm great, thank you. Sports Center, Tracy speaking. Hey, it's going pretty good. I just started today.
In 1969, Gary Beck, just married, moved to Alberta with his wife Penny, where he joined the Capital City Hot Rod Club. In '72, just weeks after earning his top fuel license, he shut down Jerry Ruth to win the U.S. Nationals. In an instant, the quiet Canadian became a legend.
It is Gary Beck of Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, who wins it. And
You've got a fair to Midland streak going, young man.
It's hard to believe, isn't it? It's unreal.
For the next 14 years, Beck took on the world. When the lights came down, Gary was gone. He defended his U.S. national title in '73 and again in '74. He became the first driver to take a rail under 5.6 seconds. He led the way into the 5.4s and then into the 5.3s. In all, Gary won 19 U.S. national events and became one of the greatest drag strip heroes of all time. Gary Beck of Edmonton, a heavy footprint in the pavement of Canadian sport.
Back at Bristol in the Sharpie 500, Sterling Marlin is the leader. Casey Mears is second. Did not pit under the caution. Jeff Gordon, just fuel on his pit stop. He's third. He was 17th at the yellow flag. Kevin Harvick quickly looking on Gordon. Out there.
Is that Kurt Busch on the outside just blew by those guys? Man, goes by McMurray on the outside. Now he's going to try Kenny Wallace.
Kurt Lee started 8th. He's trying to get 6th from Kenny. Now he's trying to shut the door on McMurray. Wow.
You play offense only so long at this joint, then you got to start playing defense.
So just to finish the pit story, Ken Schrader took fuel only. He's 5th. And you've got Kenny Wallace 6th, Kurt Busch 7th, Jamie McMurray 8th, Ricky Craven 9th, and a spinner down the front stretch and one into the outside wall. It's Mark Martin. Before we even get to tell you what happened to Mark Martin on his pit stop, he's into the outside wall.
And Mark was in such a good spot when you tell what happened. Yeah, after the pit stop, and he had to come in. Alan will tell you about that, but what a...
Put it away and let's load this car up.
Yeah. Mark came in, got fuel only on his pit stop, got off pit road ahead of all the other guys that pitted, but the catch can went with him out of his pit box.
Yeah.
He had to come back in. It put him back 26th in line, and that's what happens at Bristol when you get back in line.
Exactly. I mean, you talk about track position. Well, track position will hurt you here at Bristol. Watch here. See, right behind the 8 car, the 6 car leaves, and there's the catch can. Comes flying out of the box. You cannot take equipment out of the box. So he had to come in for a stop and go. The problem is he got back in the back of the pack, and we always say those yellows breed yellow, especially this time at Bristol.
All right, here's what happened to bring out the caution flag. Top of the screen. Looked like Johnny Sauter and maybe Bill Elliott got tangled up.
Boy, Mark just got collected.
Sauter came off the wall and just caught Mark in the right rear as he went by, turning head on in the wall. Dave?
Now let's catch up with Mark here. Mark checking out the damage and collecting his things. Mark,